Well, hello. Good evening. Welcome to When Wisdom Talks. I'm Alisha.
And I'm Kadesha.
And I'm Naomi, and welcome to you know what time it is when wisdom talks. And as you can see, we're all three pretty in red. It's all for a purpose, though, and you'll find out in just a little while all three of us are wearing our beautiful red colors. But we're excited to spend this time with all of you. Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of When Wisdom Talks. And you know that we always have to give all of you a shout out for spending this time with us, and all of our faithful watchers and viewers. Thank you. Thank you for time and time again tuning in to our broadcast. And all of our newcomers, please leave a comment in the chat so we can give you a shout out and recognize you for tuning in. And as always, you know, we have to let you know what our mission is, and that is to empower all of you to live better and wiser through engaging discussions, fun activities like the ones we're going to have tonight, and inspiring special guest interviews. And so, as you know, this episode and all episodes is sponsored by Wisdom on the Wall and Be Inspired Global. So with that, I'm going to turn it on over to Kadesha.
Thank you, ma'am. Yes, and our reds are actually different. I kind of like that.
Yes,
different shades.
they are. Yeah,
I got my little bling. Alicia has her. No, wait, I can't see. Oh, wait, you have like a little design.
I think everybody has some sort of
yes
design or bling or something to go with their red.
I love it. I love it. The cross is blinging, ma'am. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, so I'm getting confused. Are we in the third week of February? Let's see here. Second week of February, this short month, and actually we're almost through the month. And this is the best month because it's Black History Month, but it's also my birthday month. Yes. So next chapter is officially loading. And yeah, and another year is coming. Can you believe it, mommy? So yeah, we're looking forward. So we're in red because on Monday, believe it or not, I actually almost forgot. On Monday, it is Valentine's Day. Yay. And I know what you may be thinking, single ladies, you don't need a Valentine. And actually, you already have a Valentine. We are your Valentines. How about that? So tonight, we just want to highlight love. And love comes in all shapes, all sizes, different forms. And so we want to just have a love conversation, have a love dialogue with you tonight. We want you to participate. So share with us how you've been letting your love flow. That is our February theme, let love flow. But no, we do want to just have a conversation again. If you're single, if you're married, if you're ready to mingle. But we do know that God is love. At least that's what we believe. And so you can look at love in so many different ways. So we just want to talk about love tonight. So the three of us are your special guests. So we'll be interviewing each other, and we'll be interviewing you by putting some questions in the chat. So we're looking forward to hearing from you as well. Also, let us know if you are celebrating Black History Month. Let us know what you've been doing. Let us know who you've been maybe learning about that you didn't know about before. But tell us how you are enjoying this beautiful month of February. Before we get into the show, I have to ask you to do a few things. First and foremost, go ahead and share the page, share the show. It takes 2.5 seconds to share the show. We want to encourage, we want to uplift, and we want people to tune in. So if you know a friend, a neighbor, a foe, an enemy, or whomever, go ahead and share the show. We also want to encourage you to like our Facebook page if you haven't done so already, but also like or follow us on Instagram at When Wisdom Talks and subscribe to our YouTube page. Yes, those subscribers are going up and we're excited about that. And hey, YouTube, we don't want to leave you out. We know that we have YouTubers and Facebookers and we appreciate the both of you. Make sure you're commenting tonight. So when you're making comments, you can hashtag When Wisdom Talks so that we can have that trending in social media world. So if you put a comment, go ahead at the end of it, put When Wisdom Talks. Well, hashtag When Wisdom Talks. We also want to remind you that we are empowering you 3 times a week. And I was just speaking to a young lady earlier, and I could hear in her voice the absence of community. And so I invited her to participate and be a part of the Wisdom on the Wall family, because that is exactly who we are. We are family. We have sisters and brothers alike. So we are empowering you on Monday nights at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We have a pop-up prayer call, and it is so powerful. And I tell you, it's only about 15, maybe 20 minutes, but you will get your boost. You will get your injection that you need for the week. So join us at 6:30 p.m. Also on Wednesday mornings, we have our empowerment prayer call at 6 a.m. for you early birds. And if you're not an early bird, that's okay. We have a replay number as well. And then, of course, every Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we are here, ready, and willing to empower. So if you want to connect with us throughout the week, the easiest way to do that is email us at info@wisdomonthewall.com. And we're pretty responsive, if I may say so myself. So if you have a prayer request, if you want to partner with us, if you want to sponsor, if you want to donate, if you want to be a special guest on the show, you can email us at info@wisdomonthewall.com. If you desire to learn more about our nonprofit, Wisdom on the Wall Inc., you can do so at wisdomonthewall.com and purchase our book, Wisdom on the Wall. Yes. So I think I completed my assignment thus far. So we are going to head on over to our next segment. Everybody say yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. All right, all right. Now, I know some of you who've been with us for the past year, you're like, what in the world is going on? Tell me something good is usually towards the end of the show. But again, we're talking about being fun and fresh and keeping it real for you and giving you a wonderful experience. So, since we're into our second season now, we wanted to do something a little different. So, we've decided to combine Girl, What's Your Story, which is typically taking place now, with Tell Me Something Good. So now you will hear us talk about, girl, tell me a good story. So what you'll find during this segment, it could be a mixture of things. It could be us sharing a story about ourselves individually, maybe collectively, or maybe we'll tell a story, share a story about something we heard on television, something. But the bottom line is we're bringing you good news, good stories. So welcome to the introductory segment or episode, for lack of a better word, of Girl, Tell Me a Good Story. So I'll go ahead and kick us off with that. Naomi, can you send the tape? Thanks, Naomi. So some of you are like, what in the world? But this is actually Build-A-Bear. Many of you who have children, you're probably familiar with Build-A-Bear. You could go in and create your own little bear. Well, they did something this year for the first time for those of you who have a boo or a bae. You could create and build your own bear for your Valentine. And it's so funny because it's the music, first of all, that gets you. You're like, what in the world? Because they called it Build-A-Bear After Dark. And they said you have to be obviously 18 to create the bear. But I mean, they're tastefully done. It's nothing crazy. But I think it's so funny because there's the one, I mean, one of them may be holding a beer or wine, but the one I like is holding, it said is a mixed berry salsa. And berry is spelled Beary. But they have like cute little pajamas. The guys may have like boxers, but it's just the cutest thing. So I'm gonna ask you two, since you both have a boo and a bae, would you get a Build-A-Bear for your boo or bae?
No. uh, well, no, because Mike would probably laugh at me, but I really love the music, and then the after dark part of it. I said, wait, what is happening here? So no, I mean, because I don't know what he would do with it, I mean, I guess we could sit it in the room or something, but no, I don't. Well, one, I thought it was too expensive for the kids, first and foremost, let alone another adult. No, ma'am. But no, it was cute though. I like what they're doing, but no, I don't think I would purchase one.
Yeah, it's a no for me. Uh, it's a no for me. I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna keep it at that. It's a no for me.
Oh my God. Well, I like stuffed animals, so I would
Okay.
probably say yes. I think and
Okay.
that would probably be the determining factor. Do you like stuffed animals? So
Mhm.
I think I would probably say yes. And again, it would depend on who's receiving it. So if the
Right.
person that's going to get it doesn't like stuffed animals, then it may not be a go. So but yeah, so there is an option for you all out there who may be buying a little something for your boo and your bae. Maybe you want to get candy and a little cute little teddy bear. So, and I'm sure when you talked about expensive, Kadesha, I'm sure these prices are probably at another level because
Right.
it's a little holiday thing. So yeah, I'm sure they're going to make some big money off. I'm actually interested in hearing how it turns out, like how many people are interested in it because just based on the three of us, it's kind of like when I saw it on CBS Mornings, it was similar that way too. Like, there was some like, nah, then some were like, yeah, I would actually get that. So it'd be interesting. I'm wondering if some people in the chat put in there, is it a yay or a nay for you?
Are you buying the Build-A-Bear for your significant other? Ding, doo, doo, doo. No, I am curious to know how much they're going for in terms of price.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see how much they make. I have a feeling they're going to roll in the dough. I really do.
Yeah, because
But
some people do, I mean, I did like stuffed animals, so I'm not that I don't. It's just honestly, I'm just trying to keep my bed as clear as possible nowadays. But I am a stuffed animal person.
Okay, I think it's a good concept.
Mhm.
And I think it's a really good idea that they're trying to bring in both markets, the young people and also adults. So I don't think that the concept is bad. It's just that for me, it'd be a waste of money to try to buy that for my husband because he'd be like, "Oh, that's cute," and then it'll end up in the corner somewhere collecting.
Exactly.
So it's like
Exactly.
something I know
and
he'll
it
use.
goes back to knowing the recipient. So
That
cool
part.
beats. That's it. Cool beats. So what do you two have to share? Give us a good story tonight.
Oh, well, I'll try to share without crying.
Uh-oh.
Um, no, well, you know what just took place, with the gentleman who had the need. So, for those of you who weren't on our empowerment prayer call yesterday, because all the days are running together at this point, but yeah, yesterday, we had one of our sisters share about a good friend of hers who had a need. And apparently, as she was sharing, a few of us was thinking the same thing all at the same time, like we need to just so into the need, because yeah, we're prayer warriors and we're here to pray, but we're also here to take action. And if we have it, then why not give it? And so anyway, we gathered together And I really wanted to send that text in the morning to all the Wisdom on the Wall family. Hey, if you want to call, this young gentleman has a need, but the day got past me and it's like 3:30. I'm like, nobody's going to do it. And almost as soon as I sent out the text, it's like bling, 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 bling. So it just was really, it made my heart smile that many people gathered together and we was able to contribute and meet the need, but meet it quickly. Right. And so I was also able to, since I was in her area, drop off some food because one of my good friends have access to a food pantry. So gathered a box of food to take to her so she can share with him. So to me, it's like that's what the church is. And that's what the church should be, meeting the needs of people who have it and moving as quickly as possible. Right. So that is my good story. Just being able to help somebody because you don't know what that does to them. And I always think that God has like a bank account with all the good deeds that we've done. And I just have a sense that this man has done a lot of good deeds for people. So this is now it coming back to him. So yeah, I'm excited. So I'll definitely be touching, staying in contact with Samantha. I told her, Alicia, make sure she takes, some pictures and so we can see how is it going to be, how it benefits him. But that really made my heart smile yesterday. So yeah, just being able to meet a need of a guy who we never met, maybe we'll never meet, but it doesn't matter. We are being a blessing, and that's what we're here to do. We're blessed to be a blessing. So that's my good story. Wisdom on the Wall family rallying together and coming together.
And that's the entire mission of Wisdom on the Wall. I think that when the three of us came together and we decided we wanted to be a part of this, and when we started to develop the nonprofit, one of our goals was to be able to give back and to give to families and individuals in need. So to see that actually manifesting is a blessing. So I can see why it would be so exciting. And it was for me when it was brought to me. I said, absolutely. And I will contribute, outside of what we normally contribute as an organization.
Right.
So that's what it's about. And we're actually exemplifying that. So
Yeah. That was good.
yeah.
That, and again, like you said, it's beyond just the spiritual. We got to meet physical needs as well. So
Right.
that was just like combined because like you said, we don't know how it's going to lift his spirits to know that other people who don't even know him were willing to go the extra mile to be a blessing. So it's just a blessing to be a blessing.
Yes, indeed. What about you, Naomi? What's happening in your world?
Well, so I have had a chance, while I'm on this self-care journey of mine, I had a chance to kind of pause for a second and look at some TV. And so I've been really intentional about what I'm watching so that my mindset can stay positive and that I'm reinforcing those positive affirmations and also images in my mind. So as a result of that, I started watching an incredible show that came on in 2007, and it's fitting because we're talking about love, and I absolutely love this couple. The Man.
Oh, yay.
Time to man up. So they actually have two versions of this show. They have the Man's, and then they have It's a Man's World. And they live in Mansfield, Texas. It's just the cutest thing. And they have just the most adorable blended family, which I totally love. And y'all both know I love all things family. So for me to see this show, I was inspired not only by their love story, but their ambition in ministry and in business, and that they have a family business, which is exactly what my family is doing. We have a family-owned organization. And so it's just everything about it, to the point I was watching it so much to the point that when I would fall asleep, I'd be dreaming about the show, except it was the Burrells and not the Mans. And so, it's just like those episodes you see on TV when they emulate other shows or other incidences. It was the same thing. Like my dream was just full of us, the Burrells, doing these same things. And so I really appreciate Tamala and David Mann. And I thank God for their ministry and what they're doing as a godly couple, because they're such an example. And they are not just talking, they are doing, and they're showing love, and been together for so many years, and they've been taking care of 5 children, and they have a slew of grandchildren. So it was just refreshing to watch. So I love that show. I thank God for the streaming systems and apps that let you watch these reruns, because
Mhm.
it's been delightful. So the
Yeah.
man, I love that show, and I love that couple.
Yes. I haven't seen the show in a while, but when I
Yeah.
did, I'm like same sentiments. Like I love them. One,
Yeah.
he's a fool, okay? So he's just funny.
Oh,
So
hilarious.
I love just that comic relief that I get from him.
Yes.
But just beautiful. And I'm always inspired by family businesses, right?
Mhm.
So I was having a conversation with somebody the other day, and they didn't want to get in business with somebody because they was either family or friend. And I just had to challenge that belief system that you can do business and be in business with family as long as you have the right morals and the right, culture. Now that don't mean just because you family, you in the business.
Yeah.
But if we are like minded, we can do business together. And
Yeah.
so I'm always inspired by family businesses. I love them, and of course, I love you and what Titus, you and Titus are doing as well.
Thank you. Yeah, it was just, I just thank God for putting content out there that we can enjoy. I'm talking about everyone, and those of us who want to watch positive content. And their show is just, oh my gosh, it's so well rounded. It's funny, it's appropriate, it's everything. It's so, yeah.
But you
Okay,
can also have the Burrells, speak it into existence.
that's right.
It popped in your spirit for a reason. So hello. Y'all can
Amen.
encourage some other people.
I receive it, absolutely. If we can help somebody else, that's a wonderful goal.
Look, I'll be tuned in, wouldn't you, Alicia?
Yes, I would.
And
Yeah.
listen, let me just tell you, it would not be a dull moment, because y'all know the stories that we have in the Burrell household. Never a dull moment.
I love it. I love it.
I love it.
Wonderful. All righty. Well, we're going to pass it on over to you, Kadesha, to take us into the next episode. The
Everybody say yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. So yes, we are celebrating Valentine's Day. We have our red. Okay. We wanted to show you our red. And honestly, we didn't even plan it, y'all. So we just kind of in sync like that. That's all. But we want to just have a conversation, have a love dialogue. We want you to join in on the fun. But of course, we have to have some games and all that jazz. So before we get into our love talk, we have the wonderful Naomi, Miss Naomi Burrell, our game show host, has the first game for us.
Oh, yeah. But before I do that, let me just give you a little taste of what love looks like. From our hearts. Now, y'all might not know the two people in the picture. That was just a little stock image. But don't pay that no mind. Y'all get the point.
Look, I'm over here getting teary-eyed, like, oh Lord, here we go.
No, I'm over here like, who is that?
From our hearts to yours. Okay, just go with it, Alisha. Go with it. Act like you already knew who the people were. Okay. From our hearts to yours, we want you to know that we love you. We love
Yes.
you all. We love you all. Okay, so we can't do anything without adding a little fun to it. So how many of you are ready to play a game? Yay! Woo. So we're going to play Valentine's Day Scramble. You're going to figure out the word. It's going to start out easy, and then it's going to get a little harder as we go on. So let's get started with our game. All right, so here we go. So how it's going to work is a word is going to come up. The letters are going to be scrambled, and you're going to have a few seconds to figure out what that word is. And I want y'all to light up the chat. That's right. Make sure you put the answer in the chat. And what is the prize? bragging rights. You just get to say that you won. Okay, you can turn up in your living room, in your kitchen, wherever you are, and say, yes, I'm a winner chicken dinner. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and start the game. Now, remember, the word is going to come up, and then you have a few seconds to figure it out and light up that chat. So here we go. All right, first word coming up. You ready? Okay, who knows what this one is? Light up the chat. Light up the chat. You got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Big reveal. I knew all of you were smart. I just knew it. I knew it. All of you are geniuses.
It's coming in. It's coming in. They putting in love, but look, Aunt Linda put lid, but it's okay. We know you meant love, Aunt Linda.
Okay, next word. Y'all ready? Now see this word. See, a lot of y'all gonna be getting this on Valentine's. Oh, whoa. I forgot to hit pause, but act like I paused. Okay, next word coming up. Okay. 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Light up the chat. Light it up. Come on. What's this word? Okay, we get ready to do the next big reveal.
They lighten it up.
Oh, wait a minute now. There it is. Woo! Anybody creative in your life? Okay, here we go. Next word. Get ready. Uh-oh. Woo! Which one is this? Let me pause it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come on, light up the chat. Which word is this? A lot of y'all want to be this on Valentine's Day. Okay. You want to be this. Okay, so let's go for the big reveal. I just want to be happy. All right, next one. You ready? We got a few more to go and then we'll be done. Okay. Uh-oh. Now, I don't know if any one of you know what this one is. Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Light up the chat. Let's see if you know what it is. Okay, we're going to do one more and then that's going to be it. So let's do the big reveal. Oh, Cupid. I don't know if anybody's ready to get an arrow from Cupid right now. All right, next word and final word, your last chance. Okay. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I wonder if anybody knows what this one is. Uh-oh. Okay. The chat is going off. Big reveal. Who's ready? Ta-da! I sure hope I get some of that on Valentine's Day. And so that is the end. Ooh. So how did everyone do? Let's see. Oh, this chat is lit up. Go ahead, Deborah. Go ahead, Kendra. Go ahead, Renisha. Go ahead, Aunt Linda. You better go ahead, Derek. Go ahead, Angela. We see you, Carolyn.
They did awesome. They did awesome. Kendra said that was fun.
Yes.
I love it. That was good, Naomi.
Cool beans.
You are. We always call you what the chief fun officer.
Yes, CFO.
I ain't pleased, family.
Oh my goodness. Well, ladies and gents, yeah, here we go. Let's talk about love. But I think for me, so we had so okay, it's no secret. We are all women of faith, okay? I think y'all know that. So we have the foundation, right? The Bible provides the foundation of what love is. But it's funny because our experiences really, although we have the foundation, we know what it should look like. Our experiences sometimes shape how we love, how we receive love, and how we interact with other people, etc. And so, love is complicated at times. And again, it's not always about a relationship with a man and a woman. Um, Somebody's texting in; they still texting in responses to the game. But it's even just how you receive God's love, or how you love a stranger, a neighbor. Like, love is just, it's so complex. But nonetheless, um I do want to read 1 Corinthians 13:4 and 7 on what it should be. But we're all work in progress on trying to love like this. At least I can just speak for myself, honey. I don't know about anybody else, but I am a work in progress. And so it says, love is patient. Love is kind. It does not envy. It does not boast. It is not proud. It does not dishonor others. It is not self seeking. It is not easily angered. It keeps no record of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres. So I think whenever we get stuck in love, we can come right back to that and aim to get to that if we're not there. But one of the things we wanted to talk about first was how how has our life experiences really shaped our viewpoint on love? The way you were raised, where you was raised. Um, so yeah, how has your experiences shaped your viewpoint? Anybody can start. And y'all
I'll go ahead
respond
and
to
jump.
us too in the chat.
I'll go ahead and jump in. Two things immediately jumped to mind for me, and you kind of hit on it as you were kind of talking about it. For me, when I think about my life experiences, it's just really to trust God all the more and more when it comes to love. Like you said, we are imperfect, and other people are imperfect. So the type of love that you desire in many cases, is going to come first from God because that's going to be the perfect love. But the other thing that jumps out for me is that when we talk about relationships more specifically, is, sometimes you hear people say, you have two halves come together and you have a whole, and it's like, that is a recipe for disaster. It needs to be two whole people coming together to create that relationship. So when I think about life experiences and, you're doing life with people, and again, like I'm talking about in this case, you're looking at relationship, just understanding that you need to be whole, and whoever you're going into relationship with needs to be whole as you're coming into relationship. So that's kind of what jumps out for me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll hop right in and say, yes, life itself is our reference point. That's what we have. That's what we have to go off. It's life. And so everything about life does shape your love because it is our base. We're
Mm-hmm.
all here, we're all living, we're all having experiences. Yes, of course, God. So I'm not going to repeat that because you already did. But everything that we take in, whether it's from our childhood, whether it's what we see on television, all of it is shaping our viewpoint on love or one thing or the other. So I think what you have to do is kind of vet the things that you experience in life and kind of weigh them and determine or decide, is this something realistic or necessary or needed in your love experience? Because sometimes when you, especially when you see things on TV, all of us know we've seen that romantic movie, right, where the guy does everything right to the T. And
Mhm.
at the end of it, you feel all warm and fuzzy. And then after the movie
Mhm.
is over, you get to looking at your significant other or your husband or whatever, or your potential mate. You might start making a list of things that you want. However,
Mhm.
those things may not be realistic. So, yes, you have to determine that whether or not the life experiences that you are taking in via things that happen or the things that you take in, and decide whether or not they're realistic or not.
Mm, that's good. Yeah, I think we definitely do have a lot of false expectations or missed expectations based off of what we see, particularly on TV, social media, etc. And that's only a small part of what could be reality. Um, but I think for me, like I remember like in my having a roommate, and well, I had several roommates, but one of my roommates in college um, had witnessed, my mom or somebody, I think my mom, my sister's godmom, and maybe somebody had came to visit and stayed for a few days. And like, we're a touchy feely family. So we're always hugging and we're always loving. And at the end of calls, I love you. Like, that's just who we are. And so I remember her saying something to the fact that, that's not how she was raised. And so for me, it hit home or it kind of like it made me help me to understand that everybody wasn't their upbringing wasn't like mine, right? So sometimes you're sheltered and you think everything that you've experienced is what everybody else has experienced. So I took from that and other experiences that you can learn how to love people better by knowing how they were loved in their family, or the lack thereof. And so I even like just being home. I mean, we lived, I think after college, we lived far away, both me and Mike. But now being home, being with our parents, like I can see the interaction with his parents. Like, so it helps me to appreciate how he was raised because I'm able to witness it now that we're all back together. So it's just interesting. I love seeing how other families interact because that help, at least for me, it helps me to understand and appreciate that person in a different way and maybe get a different perspective. So I definitely believe that family for sure, or your upbringing for sure helps kind of shape how you love or how you don't love. But yeah.
That's true. I mean, like you said, especially if you're going to do life with people, you're going to have to try to get that inside look, for lack of a better word,
Yeah.
to understand exactly where people are coming from. And that biggest piece is, like you said, the family. When you see the interaction and maybe you hear the stories, it may explain like you said, in some cases, whether people are really lovey-dovey or some are not. So yeah, that is really key. Taking that moment to really just trying to peel the onion and really understand. So cool.
Mm-hmm.
That's
I
good.
think too, what I got out of it too is to not make assumptions
Mm-hmm.
about what people's viewpoint is on love, and
Mm-hmm.
because it may be different from yours. And I think
Mm-hmm.
that's important when you enter a relationship or a friendship or even
Mm-hmm.
a family ship, because sometimes that happens via marriage or however, to not make assumptions about that person and what they believe love is.
Mm-hmm. That was good. Absolutely. Um, so who first taught you about love?
Oh, I'll jump right in and say, y'all know my love story, my family love story. I'll say two people. First, my grandmother, who you all know the story, is not my blood grandmother that raised me. And I
Mm-hmm.
just think it was just so phenomenal that someone who was not my blood could love me that much and want to take care of me. She took me and my mother in when I was 7. She didn't take women. She actually rented rooms out, and my mother and I were looking for a place to stay. And so she allowed us to live there, even though she didn't accept children. But God told her that she needed to accept my mother and I. And little did she know, or I know, that she would be the one to raise me. And so that kind of love really planted a seed in me about the kind of love that can transcend blood
Mm-hmm.
connections, DNA, all of that. That love can transcend even that. And so she taught me about love. And then I will say my husband, on many different levels. We've been friends since I was 15, since we've been knowing each other since I was 10, he was 11, but we got into a relationship in high school. So we were like childhood, high school kind of sweethearts. And but we've had to learn how to endure many things together. Many things. And I think that's the beautiful thing about love that you can teach one another is the endurance part of it. So yeah.
That's good. That's good. And I'm gonna jump in because a lot of what you said kind of resonate with me. I was raised by my grandparents, and I would say, it was my grandmother who first taught me about love. And, it wasn't a matter of like, well, we're gonna sit down and talk about what love is, but it's that whole love in action, just looking at her loving as she's going through life. I think about my grandparents being married. They were married when my grandfather passed away. They were married 46 years. And if he was still alive today, they would be married 70 years this year. So, you think about all the challenges that marriages go through, when they went through challenges as well, but, they stuck and stayed. So it shows you that whole piece when it comes to the relationships, but also, again, looking at love in action with her being a big giver, and her big thing was cooking, in her heyday. It's like every holiday, Easter, I don't care what holiday it is, and where you wanted to go before or after, dinner was always at her house at 3 o'clock. If you wanted to go somewhere before, fine. If you want to go somewhere after, that's fine as well. But you're going to be there at 3 o'clock for dinner. And her way of giving was, eat as much as you want, friends, whoever you are, but you're going to also leave with some food. So, it's like the loving and giving. And I think the other piece of it is when we talk about love and action. And as I think about how she taught me love is, being there for the underdog. My grandmother always was a big community activist. She was the block captain on her block up until her 70s. So from her, I learned that whole gift of wanting to give back, wanting to, be there to help people who can't help themselves. So I just see in the love that she kind of shared and developed in me. I see it all, resonating in me. So again, for me, love a lot of times is just love in action, watching and learning from that. So that's where I learned mine.
That's good. Yeah, I love what you said, Naomi, about family being beyond blood, and I think we sometimes forget that part. That especially for Alisha and I, we lived in different states and different cities, um, and you have to adapt, right? Or you have to find, or family finds you in those respective cities and states. And so I'm definitely a witness of that, that there was family already there waiting for me that I didn't even know was there. So I love, and I just wanted to bring that out again, that if you allow, let love flow, it can flow beyond your family borders. And then to your point, Alisha, love and action. I mean, for me, definitely my mother is, the person who taught me about love. And, just watching her not just love me, but the way she loves everybody and loves family and will be there for family, even if you in the wrong, honey. When I tell you unconditional love, like that's what unconditional love looks like to me. And now being older, I recognize that, God not only placed my mother and other angels in my life, but they were like on an assignment to love me. You know what I mean? Like only like there's certain people that can love you the way you needed to be the way you need to be loved. You know what I mean? And God puts angels on assignment, and my mother being one of them. And then of course my husband, following that up. I always definitely want to give him credit when credit is due. He definitely is the better part, the better half. Very patient and very Christ-like in his love with people. Whereas, I may, want to do south or want to just don't have that level of understanding. He is definitely someone who extends unconditional love. Again, not just to me, but to people. So I love watching and observing people because yeah, you can learn as people do things like Alisha said, love in action. You see what other people do, and yeah, I love it. Um, so let's see what we got going on in the chat. Oh, Jean said, Awesome story. Oh, Aunt
Linda.
Linda.
Yes. And
Yeah.
I think Angela
Mm-hmm.
had a comment. She said, I agree totally, Kadesha. Understanding everyone's family dynamic is different, and being able to observe and tweak your views enables you to love more fulsome.
Mm-hmm. 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 Thanks, y'all. Oh, Kendra said, oh, there it is. Love is definitely an action word.
Hmm.
Indeed. Indeed. So what does love I mean we touched on it a little bit, but what does love look like or what doesn't it look like?
Yeah, I
Either.
mean, yeah. To me, it's genuine concern and care for whomever you are demonstrating love to. Um, Also, some weeks, I think it might have been some episodes back, I gave the acronym for love. Love is learning to oblige. Another word is accept and value your emotions. And that goes for other people too. Learning to oblige or accommodate and value other people's feelings and emotions, and understanding that how they feel is important. So making room for, because a lot of times when you get in relationships, you want to get your viewpoint over, you want to prove your point, but you don't spend enough time accommodating or accepting the fact that that person has a viewpoint or feelings behind something. So being showing genuine concern and care, and being accepting of that other person's feelings and emotions.
Hmm. But when you mentioned that, like when we highlighted you last week,
Hmm.
the thing that I really love that you said was, and I agree with you that we validate someone else and accept their viewpoint. But I like that you said that, accept your emotions as well.
Oh,
Like
absolutely.
understand that your emotions are valid and
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
give yourself time to process through that. Right. So
Hmm.
let yourself feel whatever you're gonna feel and
Hmm.
then work through it, because I think sometimes we just skip past how we feel at times.
Absolutely.
And it's
I
like,
totally agree.
okay, well, work through it, whether it's through journal and your quiet time, whatever you have to do, but work through those emotions. Um, what Gene over here talking about? Go ahead, Alicia.
Oh, no, and I was gonna say, I wanted to kind of piggyback on that because when I think about, what does love look like in terms of, yeah, basically how does it look? Is for me is the trust and respect, but then also the other piece of it is appreciating the differences. So when you said that, it totally resonated with me because again, we're bringing different experiences, we're different backgrounds, different people, different emotions, different expectations. So being able to appreciate is a huge thing. And for me is the honesty, being able to be honest. So, when you have those moments where you feel like I need to, just back off, be me, deal with my emotions, being able to honestly say that and the other person accepts that, and not feel like offended or rebuffed. It's like, no, whoever, whether it's him or her, needs that moment and respect them enough, love them enough to be able to give them that moment. So, yeah, I piggyback on some of that as well. And the other
Mhm.
thing of it, I think for me, love is secure. Like it, you feel secure in that relationship. Again, like you were saying before, Kadesha, doesn't have to be a love relationship, is family, friends, or whatever, but being secure that that relationship is stable, regardless of what may happen, I know you got my back and you're going to be there. So,
Yeah, I
Mhm.
think I think the whole basis is trust. I know for me, that's the theme word that has been ringing on all levels. In this new phase in my life, I'm learning that whole word of trust. Trusting myself to make the right decisions about what's best in terms of the relationships that I enter into, because sometimes we fail to do that. We fail to trust our ability to choose wisely. We put a lot of the onus on the other people, like, oh, they have to have this, they have to have, I got to check this off the list. But, however, we need to trust that we've done the internal work with ourselves first, and then trust that we'll be able to make the right decisions. And then trust that, when we do connect, that that person had. Don't automatically assume the worst of that other individual. You know, give them the benefit of the doubt to to earn and work with that trust that you're displaying or giving in that relationship.
Jean said, sorry. Jean said, wow, you sisters, such a testament to love in action. Thanks, Jean, Miss Cotton. And so are you, my dear. Yeah, Jean is definitely, honey, one of those angels on assignment to love me the way I needed to be loved. Amen. But no, you know, I guess I'll take it from a different perspective on what love doesn't look like. Um, I've been blessed, fortunate enough not to be in any uh, domestic altercations or any domestic violence in terms of relationships, um, but I have witnessed them and literally witnessed it. And I just want to make the record, set the record straight that love feels good, and it doesn't harm you in any form or fashion, and we obviously we should understand that hurt people do hurt people. So and whole people help heal people. So but what it doesn't do is it doesn't make you feel bad. It doesn't bring about guilt. It doesn't bring about condemnation, and it definitely doesn't bruise you in any form or fashion. And so I remember that day like it was like yesterday, and so it really it hurt me to see that certain people do that's a way of living, right? And so again, just going back to a part of what Wisdom on the Wall is here to do, and when Wisdom Talks, is we just want to uplift you, and we want to fill any gaps, try to fill the voids in your life, so if you need sisterhood, we're here for that. If you are not experiencing or experiencing love, or receiving the love you need at home, if you're married, you can turn to us. So like we're here to just be really what's it not sistership, I guess is the word, but it's a
Supportive.
supportive. Yeah, that's a good word.
And also to demonstrate
Yeah.
what
Mm.
real love is. I can't even tell you how this relationship has taught me about love and trust. But
Mm,
Um,
I think through all three of us, we have experienced a level of love in a way that transcends any of our flaws, any of the things that we think are horrible. We have seen each other through some trying times. And I think we've learned one of the things in love is learning to be to a degree vulnerable, because
mm,
this world teaches you that you have to put up this front that you are perfect,
mm,
that you don't have anything wrong with you, that you're so strong you can never be weak. And so it puts this false impression on relationships. But I think
mm.
this group here, the three of us, the sisterhood, is a demonstration of what real love looks like. And I think that's what people admire and appreciate.
Mm. And I like that you mentioned that, because again, I want to just highlight the fact that it's any relationship that you're in. It's not with a man and a woman. Like women, I need you to hear me very clear. Okay. Your love, if you're seeking love, a man or anybody, any human, first and foremost, is going to disappoint you at one form, or at one point in time. Like they can't complete you. Trust me. Been married almost 12 years. My husband can't complete me. He can't do that. So for me to put that expectation on him is unfair. And it's unfair to me. So, but we can complement each other, and you can do that in any relationship that you're in, with sisters, with your family, with the male counterparts that God brings. Like it's just a whole nother level. And I was talking to somebody earlier. I forget what she said, but I was telling her, I'm like, God was my first husband until I cheated on him with my husband. You know what I mean? Like it just is what it is. Like he really is. He being God is my everything. Like it just I can't get enough of him. And so it's like that's if you need to find love, you can start with him because he has enough to go around. Like I was joking with Alisha earlier, like God was cheating on me with her earlier. She was having her time with the Lord. I'm having my time with the Lord. Like he really is enough, you know? So we don't have to look to these other places for love, but God will, because he's so awesome, he'll bring other people that can love on us. Similar, not the same, but you know, similar to the way that he loved us.
Amen. You said so much in that. It's like every
That's
time you
what I was
said
thinking.
something, I wanted to jump in, and it's like, then you said something else, and I'm like, okay, now I forgot what my initial thought was. Things. I mean, but one of the things that you kind of went back to, like you said, you know, it's never going to be perfect anywhere else except with God, because if it was any other way, you'll start worshiping other people, and God does not want that. So, you know, I think it kind of goes back to what was said at another point in time, and that, you know, we have to be understanding of people's flaws. You know, you have to accept people, what they say, quirks, flaws, and all, because again, none of us are perfect. So our love is not going to be perfect. But I think the key, as I think about it, is what is the intention? You know, is your intention to really be loving? And maybe your love level or love language may be a little different than mine. You know, maybe I need to understand that and respect that. And again, I think a lot of that sometimes calls for that conversation, that vulnerability, you know, being open and honest about, you know, this is what love looks like for me, because the way I love may not be the way another person loves or receives. So I think another piece of when we talk about loving somebody is understanding what their love language is. You know, maybe you need me to buy you something. I think about in the case of a relationship, you know, maybe you want the roses, but the other person maybe wants words. So I need to know what works for you so that I can love you in a manner that uplifts you and validates that I do love you. You know, so it's so many things that is coming in my mind right now that is like jeepers creepers.
We need a part two, because I'm looking at the time and I'm like, I ain't ready to be done, because this conversation is so good, but it's so necessary, because I think people stand in the wings waiting for people to be truthful about what their viewpoints are about love, and people aren't really as I guess they're not as willing to share those viewpoints, because
Transparent.
they might feel, they might feel judged or what have you. Because I feel like this, I've accepted my flaws, but you gonna love me, you went to ante up, because I got some stuff with me that you're gonna be like, whoa. But I've accepted that about myself first. You see what I'm saying? And that's where it has to start. You got to accept that about yourself first. I got some heavy stuff with me, but you going to ante up, you gonna love me because I got some stuff. And like Carlin said, okay.
Okay. You said you got to come with some thick skin with this.
Really? Okay. You gonna love me, baby. You gonna have to ante up.
Oh my goodness. But what you said was so key, Alisha. Like that word, that C word, communication. Oh my. I remember you invited me to something at your church, honey. You was like, I think you need to slide on in here. What about the communication in marriage? But that is just so key with any relationship, right? So being able to communicate how you feel. And I remember listening to Dr. Anita, I can't remember her last name, but she's a therapist and has some awesome podcasts that I need to tune back into. But she was saying, had a guest on saying how sometimes we just can't identify, like we can't name, we can't label how we feel. So then it's hard for us, if we don't know the name, it's hard for us to communicate what we feel to other people. And so it's like, it goes back to that inner work that Naomi was talking about earlier. Like, well, how am I feeling and what is this called? So I can tell you how I'm feeling, and we can be on the same page. But that communication is so key in any relationship. Again, y'all, we're not just talking about male, female. We just talking about in the workplace. I mean, you got to deal with people in the workplace. So communicate with people in the workplace, communicate with your neighbors, like communication, relationships are everywhere we go, and love is everywhere we go, right? So as we're wrapping up, maybe we could just end with how do you describe God's love in one or two words, if you're able to describe it? I know it's probably hard, but one or two words on how we describe God's love.
I would say unconditional and unchanging.
Mm.
And my word is simply perfect.
That's good. That's good. My two words are breathtaking and incomparable. Oh my. Well, we hope that you guys enjoyed this dialogue. Did you learn anything?
Oh,
Um,
somebody said, can you end in prayer? So you know we got to do that. Angela asked.
oh, okay then. I
Thank
thought she was
you,
asking for prayer. Okay then, but
Jesus.
absolutely. Um, so before, well, yeah, okay. Well, let me just read back the scripture. We're just gonna pray the word of God.
Yes.
So Lord, we thank you that your love is patient, that your
Mhm.
love is kind, that it doesn't envy, that it doesn't boast, that it doesn't make us proud, it doesn't dishonor, it's not self-seeking, it's not easily angered, it doesn't keep record of wrongs, it does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. It always protects, it always trusts, it always hopes, it always perseveres. So if God is telling us that's what love is, then that's what love is. So God, we accept your truth and we thank you that you have given us everything we need to love the people that you have placed in our lives, and they can love us too. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Well,
Amen.
y'all, one of the things I like to do sometimes, and we're going to close out, is just insert your name. So insert your name in that scripture, and that's how you going to love. We're going to say Kadesha loves does not envy. Just go ahead and insert your name, and we're going to speak and declare the word of the Lord. So we appreciate you joining in this Thursday. We're going to be here next week, same time, same place. We hope that you come back with a friend. And we just look forward to just encouraging you and uplifting you some more. So in the meantime and in between time, stay safe, stay blessed, stay in faith, and stay in love, y'all. Have a good night.
See ya.